Hey guys, Nicole here. So I decided I want to make one more page with this page kit. And I kind of figured that that would be kind of what would happen. I figured I would make more than one page out of each page kit. And then the leftovers after this just go back into the bin, and I'm going to put the scraps with the extra papers that I didn't use in the first place. And then I can always pull from them as I need to. And so I have this photo okay, first of all, I had this doily, and on my desk I had this Heidi Swap. It's like a stamp and stencil set that says my happy place, and it's like the perfect size for the middle or the inside of this doily. So I stamped that on there. I think I did that before the video actually started. And that is my guidance for what I want to scrapbook. So you can take this anywhere. My happy place could be an actual place, could be just like where you like to be as far as what's around you. You know, you could use it for lots of different things. So I just looked through my pictures on my phone to look for something that would not only work with this color scheme, but work for that title. And so I had taken this picture, I think it was on Instagram, of my homemade coffee cup. So I have like a cheap, espresso machine here. And on days I'm not going to be in my shop, but I want some good coffee, I will just make some here. And so I had taken this picture and I was like on in-house cleaning mode. So I had some music going, and I was, when you get in that mode where you're getting things done and it feels good. And at the end of the day, you feel super, super accomplished. And these things that have been on your mind for days or weeks, you finally completed. So those are like the best days. I love those days. I have it seems like more days that are not like that than I do that are like that. Like days where it's like hard for me to get going. And so I just know when I have those days, like those, I love them. Like, and it's usually honestly when I'm by myself, when I'm at home by myself, when my husband's gone, the girls are at school, and I just have a day to just like do whatever I want and clean whatever I want. And, I don't know, there's just a certain freedom to that. And so what I usually do when I get in those like massive cleaning modes is I either get some podcasts going, or I'll stream YouTube channels on the TV and kind of listen to them as I'm doing things, or I'll put a CD, for those of you who know what those still are, in my CD player and blast it. And I just love that. Like that's like I'm at my most, I think, peace when I'm just in that mode. And being, and accomplishing something, I should say. And I guess not most at peace, like that, I guess obviously my family provides that, and my faith, but I guess it feels good. I feel like, okay, I'm in this mode. I got my cleaning mojo going, and I'm getting things done. And it's not necessarily just cleaning. It could be, switching the photos out of the photo frames, or, just those little projects around the house that you look at and say, oh, I gotta do that. And it just kind of nags at you for days or weeks until you actually sit down and do it, and get motivated to actually do it. And so anyway, so I thought that would be kind of a perfect thing to document, because I suppose not everyone's like that. Like that's something that I just super appreciate. And so I wanted to document that. And so what I just do is kind of pull in bits and pieces of these papers I have left over, and I use the Pink Fresh 6x6 pad as kind of the starting point. And so instead of using it as the paper as it is, I actually trim off the top and trim the bottom where like the sentiments are. And the sentiments are pretty perfect to like daily life kind of. I can't remember, I don't have it in front of me what they say, but they were very pertinent to what I was scrapbooking about. And so I put the top one along the top and the bottom one along the bottom, and then just kind of built a big cluster and a smaller cluster from there. And using the doily as my title. And so I just kind of mess around a little bit with the different pattern papers I have left, and the larger pieces that I have. As far as I have, I think a couple like 3x4 cards left. And I know I used the other Pink Fresh one, and I don't think I used the pink and red one. But and I just have fun kind of layering these, and I keep the journaling pretty simple. But this was just a really fun layout to make, and I love that I was able to use the happy circular happy, because that dark gray paper in there matched it perfectly. And I really didn't think I'd be able to use those because I have a really hard time with circular letters. I don't know why. I think they just don't fit in my designs usually like I like things to. But I love how it eventually just kind of meshes up in that top cluster, and it brings some gray up there, which is perfect because I have this gray layering piece underneath. And it's not a huge, but you can, it's definitely the color. And then the way the black ink stamped on the doily is more of like a dark gray, just because it wasn't a super, super juicy stamp. And so I love that. And so I mat this card, and because I wanted to get some more of the blue. So I've now cut into all of the papers that were in this page kit. And if that might just be my goal, say try to use this page kit until you've cut into all the papers. It's kind of a challenge I've done before with past kits on a larger scale, where I split up larger kits into smaller kits, and then I add new supplies in as I cut into all the papers. And that's kind of a fun thing. So that might be my goal for these is, okay, you have to cut into all the papers at least once, and then you can move on if you're ready to. So I also pulled out some washi that matched these colors, and I think I used 3 or 4 of them throughout the layout. I layered a couple on the top just to bring in, again, some of the colors that were showing up on the big cluster, and really like how that turned out. I'm really needing to use washi. I have so much of it, and it's just so addictive to buy because they're so cute, and you have like a pack of them and you love, most of them, and then you end up with a ton, even though you only really needed that 1 or 2 that you really loved, but it's all good. I'll get him used, and I'm not going to stress too much about it, but it's just getting a little out of control. So I need to get some full rolls used up. I'm hoping I can do that with this kit. Get some of these mostly used up, if not completely. So anyway, this is actually a very quick layout. I'm on double time, so it probably took me about less than a half hour to do this. And let's see, I'm trying to think of what else. I'm just kind of tinkering with, there's this, I don't know if this is where it's at or not, but I mess with it, that teacup that was from that same chipboard sheet as the word happy, and it looks just too vintage for me. It kind of worked on this layout, but it was too vintage looking for me. So I actually went ahead and threw it in my heritage basket. I'm not going to force myself to try to use it because I don't see myself being able to use it with these colors. That's still too distressed looking for me. But I do have this die cut of this radio, and I go ahead and I will put that as pretty much the only embellishment, I believe, on this layout, because part of the story was about listening to podcasts or listening to music while I clean. So I thought that fit nicely. So I am just continuing to tinker and layer. I think maybe I'm adhering stuff now. I like to get everything laid out on a page first, and then just kind of go back. And sometimes I'll take a picture and take it all apart and then reconstruct it. Or sometimes I'll just move one piece at a time and glue it down. It just depends on how much, how much there is. If it's a ton, then I'll tend to do the picture. I just journal right along the top of the layer of paper in the main cluster. I keep it simple, just about how, and you may not be able to see the cozy on, or the little, cozy on the cup there says it's go time. And so that just, again, meshed with the story really well. And so I just did a little journaling about, and then I outline. Sorry guys, again, I can't see, I can't see a streaming thing of what I'm doing. I'm just seeing like these freeze frames. And so it didn't used to do that. So I think I need to just touch base with them and see what's going on. Anyway, so I outline the main background as well as the individual layers with black pen. And that just kind of gives them a little bit more definition, and I like how that looks. And I am not scientific about it or ruler about it. I don't stress, I just do it freehand, and I like how that looks. I think I'm just deciding. I know I do some spotter mist here. And I think it's the teal, Heidi Swapp's teal. And I think about doing enamel dots, but I decide not to. I feel like this is one that didn't necessarily need it. And I honestly think I'm just about done. This is a super quick layout. So I'm so happy I got 2 layouts done with this one page kit. I'm going to put the remaining supplies back in the bin and the papers in a stack that I can access, and that will give me some more options when I go back to start making the page kits again. So here's some still photos of the layout after it was done, and again, just a fun little day-to-day, daily life kind of story that I'm glad I got told. And thank you guys so much for watching, and happy scrapping. I'll be back soon. Bye-bye.